Hmm. Yeah, hi Prag.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, man. You bring me something, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know. Search. So you can add both the languages in your resume. Okay. And which
Mhm.
language you feel comfortable with, you can use that language to learn practice DSA. There's nothing wrong. You can use any one of the language.
But sir, like, what's in more demand, like competitive program? Because I have seen many companies where like they say like if you are doing Python, please don't do like coding DSA program in Python.
See, in that case, if you want, you can do with Java. Java. Okay. See, personally, I'm not a big fan of Java. I didn't. I mean, I didn't do any kind of business logics in Java. Every code that I have written
Mhm.
previously was in Python only and JavaScript.
Okay. No, because I have seen like many companies na say like if you are doing please do coding in Java or like C++. Python, I don't know why many companies don't prefer.
Not sure, but Python is in demand. Man.
Yes.
Hi everyone. How was your exam? By the way, tell me about your exams.
Oh, it was great, sir. Like
रीटेस्ट
good
बोल दिए
person.
मेरे को तो
What's in it?
रीटेस्ट बोल दिए सर अभी तीनों एग्जाम वापस देना पड़ेगा
अरे क्यों?
अरे सर एक तो पहले मैं पूछा किधर सबमिट करना तो बोले गिटहब में सबमिट करना है तो मेरे को लगा मैं अलग रेपो बनाना मतलब मेरे को एक रेपो बनाना पड़ेगा उसमें पुश करके लिंक सबमिट करना पड़ेगा तो उधर एरर आया सबमिट कर रहा था तो मैंने ललिता मैम को मैसेज किया कि इधर एरर आया तो बाद में मैं उनको यही पूछा कि वो जो हम लोग रेगुलर जिसमें सीसी करते हैं ना पुश उसमें एक मंथली टेस्ट का भी सेक्शन है उधर सबमिट करने का क्या तो बोले हाँ हाँ उधर करो फिर उधर कर रहा था तो फिर एरर आया फिर वापस टिकट रेस किया तो जब तक टाइम चले गया था फिर बाद में बोलते कि अगर टाइम एक्सटेंड करेंगे तो बताएंगे उसके बाद आज बोलते कि मतलब टाइम एक्सटेंड होने वाला है आपका सबमिशन गया अभी आपको रिटेस्ट देना पड़ेगा तीनों
They asked me to make paper for retest also today. I didn't see it. I have not responded yet to that.
और अगर टाइम मिला तो इस बार मैं तो नहीं दूंगा सर ये महीने का कॉलेज का एग्जाम चालू है सबमिशन चालू है
Sorry. How about others?
Even इन्होंने सर प्लेगरिज्म भी कर रखा है. If like someone get more than 70% प्लेगरिज्म तो दोबारा देना पड़ेगा.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, I mean, are you guys able to solve the question?
सर किया ना मजा आया बहुत पूरा किया
I mean, I have taken that example from our class only. I just extended it to the capabilities.
अच्छा था सर
You can expect. I mean, don't expect theory questions or simple implementation questions in the exam. If I'm going to make the paper, this somewhat like this, I have to be making the paper.
सर प्रैक्टिकली था अच्छा था
So what happens now if they will evaluate the paper? Then finally, what happens?
What, sir?
No, after evaluation, what happens?
Like they will mark as pass and like if someone got failed, then they have to give a retest, and if someone get fail in retest, then they take a batch transfer.
Batch transfer. Okay. So that means, that means this batch, currently running batch, the students are going to come. There is a chance that new students might also come, right?
Yes, sir. But yes, sir, there are more chances.
And few
But
might leave from.
Yeah, but sir, for like our senior batch, there was no test like last week.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's like if then if you got failed, then you have to move out of my batch.
Yes, sir. Like.
सर वो उन्हें नहीं देंगे
Other instructions also there. Sure. So shall we begin for today? It's only 10 people. Why is there very less people today? Exam tha, so everybody got busy today. Yeah? You guys you guys got the announcement, right?
yes sir
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, I'm running with 102 fever and I'm still here to teach, but you guys are not yet to learn.
So what is server sent event?
Server sent event is an event which is invoked by the server, which sends a particular data type data to the Where did you get this question from?
That a link you have shared, na sir, the interview questions.
Okay. Cool. And yeah, I have also downloaded few resources for you. I will share you guys that. I'll put it in the GitHub and share you. I've got some very good resource of Python cheat sheet and SQL cheat sheet. These are some good resources. I mean, interview prep resources. I'll share you guys shortly. Yeah, later I'll do that. I'll push the PPT. I mean, actually, from previous week, right? I'm not well, so I'm not able to catch up with a lot of things. Been missing out. Okay, guys. So let's start our class today. So this would be the sixth lecture of the fifth lecture of the JavaScript series. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. So today we'll be talking about ES5 and the respective inheritance which is happening in ES5 and inheritance in ES6. Okay. Because in ES5 we didn't have proper class. So instead of a class, what kind of things we use in ES5? Anyone?
Constructor function.
Yeah, constructor function. We use constructor functions. So we will see how we use constructor function to do inheritance. Okay. Then we will see classes and how in classes we are doing inheritance. So these two topics only we are going to see today. Okay. I'll keep it light for today. Okay. Okay. So yeah, bird. So let's go and type our code. Okay, first, before getting there, I got few answers, but how about others who have joined late, or how did your exam go? Tell me truthfully, guys. If you guys have anything in your mind, please put it in chat. The chat is private. Okay, I need to understand where you people have lagged or what kind of issues that you people have faced. I'll just give you 2 minutes. Please put it in chat, or throw your whatever you want to speak, unmute yourself and speak. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, week 21 and day 5, it's helpful for me in the previous test, sir. Week 21, day 5. It's all about Todo app only.
Yeah.
It's helpful for me, and it's not too easy and it's not too difficult. It's little.
Okay.
It's for my side only.
Okay. Cool. Man.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Uh, this is Amanjot. Yeah, it was good. Like it was what we did in class. So just have one question about it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. About that, the ID we delete by ID. So
Yeah.
could we only do it by jQuery, or was it possible without using a jQuery and all?
Without using jQuery, also you can do it. You can use JavaScript, or you can use CSS to do that. You can use JavaScript to do that. It's possible.
Right. Okay. I used like the nth child like that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's possible. See, it's not. That's what I told you, right? These exams, right? These exams are not about what you study and what you perform. Okay, this is open-ended test where you have access to internet. You can go there, search, learn, come here, write code. So I want to develop that kind of habit in you guys. Okay. And Nileshwar, the to-do type button was nothing but I want to add one more way to take an input. So there was a way to write input through input box. I also wanted you to choose it from the drop down and put it in the list. That's what I wanted. That's why I introduced that to make it a bit complex. That's all. Nothing serious.
Right, sir.
How about others? Everybody attended this, right? Okay, by the if you people have successfully done it, the test around 70 to 80% of the test you people successfully done it, then I think you people are practicing. You people need a little bit more push. That's what I think. Okay, so the concepts that you used in the test would be all the HTML part, CSS to give regular CSS to the things. Then I think extensively you people might have worked on JavaScript, where you have to select the HTML work. I mean, you have to dismantle the DOM, change the DOM with respect to certain actions. So it was kind of an event-driven program, right? Yeah, I think it's cool. So yeah, great. If you guys want a tough, really tough thing to do, right? I can give you one side project. People can work on a side project, which is nothing related to Athene or something. If you want to do it on your own, right? Go to Flipkart's website and Amazon's website. Take any one website, replicate it exactly. Replicate it exactly. They shouldn't take more than 3 hours to do. Okay, like that. Cool. Yeah. So let's move to the prototype and prototype inheritance today. So we know that how to define a constructor function. Anyone? Anyone?
This dot name equal to name now.
Can anyone tell me how to define a constructor function? If you are going to define a constructor function, you have to use a capital letter in starting of the function name. And whenever you are going to use it, you can use it like, let's say, user1, which is equal to new user of let's take the name. Let's take my no name is coming into my mind. Let's go. Harry Potter. Okay, and let's take a second user. It's going to be, what was Harry Potter's friend's name? Nobody watched Harry Potter.
Was sir, I forgot the name.
Ron Weasley.
Ron Weasley.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now let's console. User 1 and user 2. Cool. So what will be the output for this, guys?
Harry Potter, Ron Weasley.
Okay. So see, basically what this is what kind of JavaScript we are using here. We are using ES5 here. So why does ES5? Because in ES6 we have classes, and any object creation before ES6 use constructor function to do that. So what all features we use as a class, we use constructor function to achieve that in ES5. So this is ES5. ES5's way to use class concept. Okay, so I come here and reload. See, I got two values here. So if I open this, you can see here. You can see the name as that, and apart from there, you can see something else. A prototype. So prototype is nothing but it's an object given to it attached by the JavaScript compiler, okay, or JavaScript execution engine, which attaches it to the respective object. To all the objects it attaches. Okay, it attaches it to all the objects. Okay, and that prototype is nothing but it's an object which is going to contain certain amount of properties which explicitly it is assigned to the respective object. We don't have any other function, any other parameter inside this. Inside this, we don't have any other parameter, but we are able to have extra parameters which it is given by the JavaScript to the respective object, and that is called as prototype. And any kind of inheritance or any kind of extra properties that you have to add it to this particular user separately, you can do it through a prototype. Okay, so the way to achieve access the prototype is through let's say you have user one dot okay. So here what happens, here I have this. Okay, now if I want to assign a phone number to the user one, okay, but I don't have to add it here in the constructor function, then what I'll do here is I'll do user one dot prototype dot what are value I need to give. If it is a phone number, let's say phone number equal to let's say it's a number, right? So 90. Okay, this is a phone number I have given. So basically this prototype is an extra detail given to a respective object by the JavaScript, and to this detail you can add any value, add any amount of value. Okay, if I come here and reload the reload this, right? Also properties of undefined second. Oh, so that like you. Okay, so the issue was not here. User function. Okay, and user and user. Okay, a regular function instead of an so the setting actually comes with ES6. How to stop it? Using one of using strict here. Okay, wait, I'll pull up an EX5 compiler.
सर ये प्रोटोटाइप से यूजर वन के अंदर फोन नंबर डाल रहे या यूजर फंक्शन के अंदर डाल रहे?
We are putting it in the object. No, it should be 1 minute.
So function
Okay, okay.
डालेंगे.
Yeah, sorry. It should be in the user. Okay, and I'll print user. Yeah. Actually. Yeah, actually. Thanks. That's the mistake I was doing. So actually, what we are doing here is the thing that I missed to tell you guys here was we have a function here, a regular function or a constructor function. So the prototype is an object associated to the respective object created by the function. Okay, and what are the properties that we want to add to the respective class, which we don't want, I mean, not class, a function, which we don't want to define it inside, that we can do it from outside by adding that particular value to the respective prototype. Prototype is an external property. It's an external set of property given to a respective object creation method. Okay, so here the object is created by using a function called user. Okay, and this user is going to take up a value for the name. Okay, and this name goes here and gets assigned to the respective name attribute of the particular function. Okay, now there is no other attributes here in this particular function. Here we are going to we have something called as prototype object. Let's print the prototype object and see what it comes first. Then Let's jump there. Okay, console.log of the one dot prototype. Okay, so let's come here. Let's come in this. First, let's see. Let's dig deep inside the prototype. Stage to be undefined. Okay, so basically, the prototype is nothing but an object which will contain the respective function itself. So that function is what the constructor function. What is that function? We have a function which takes a name. Okay, it takes a name, and as we know that prototype is an object, it will also have prototype. This is called as prototype chaining. Prototype inside prototype is called as prototype chaining. Okay, so what happens is you have another prototype, and this will contain the list of properties given by the JavaScript. Okay, so if you like to have a map, I can show you a map how that comes up here. See, so basically we have an object. Let's consider an object here. Let's say A. Let A is equal to, which has a something called parameter called value, which has 10. Okay, so this particular A loads up in the memory. Okay, it loads up in the memory, and with that you'll assign this object to it, and with this object you'll create the JavaScript will create one more set of properties, and which will assign it to A. So basically, once A is created, you have something called as prototype to it. Okay, and this prototype is internal object, so that will contain a prototype. So the final prototype will have what are the data which is required by this, given by the JavaScript with it. And you can see here what are the properties it has. It has a constructor function. It has a function called has own property. Then is prototype of, like this. You have some values, some functions assigned to it. Okay, and these functions will be consistent across. Okay, consistent across. So why we started using prototype, why we needed prototype was, initially there was no class in JavaScript. Let's talk about the period when there was no class in JavaScript. So we need to mimic certain property, certain ways, like we do it. Okay, in Java, we will do certain things in order to capture the functions, the classes things like inheritance, methods, class name, then attributes given to the class. So all these things needs to be mimicked on the functions, because at that time there was only functions there. There's nothing else, only functions were there. So that is why what we did was we have created a concept called prototype, to which we will assign the data. Like we can give the name, we can give attributes, we can give functions, anything. Like how we tried here giving a phone number to it. Even though it was not defined in the function, we are able to push it inside. We have, see, so the very first time when we have let's say an object, let's don't go with the complicated example. Let's come with simple example first. So let's say we have an object A. Okay, and let's do a console.log of A. Okay, and I'll come in this. Okay, let's come here and reload. See, we have a example here. With this, we have a prototype object, and this prototype object has the respective data that needs to be there. Okay, inside this, right, this object.prototype, this particular prototype, right, this will have these functions. Okay, and inside that there is no prototype. That's the final value, because it's a single object. Now let's create a copy of an object with A. Okay, let's do let B is equal to object.create of A. So basically what it will do, it will create an object with respect to A and assign it to B. It's almost nearly equivalent to the copy of A. Okay, let's console that and see what in B it comes. Okay, see, we don't have anything. We have created a new object with respect to A, but it will not have anything initially, but it will have the respective prototype. to it. And in that prototype, you will have the value. Well, because it is inheriting the data from the A. Okay. So this is what a prototype is. So basically, prototype is nothing but inheritance of what all data we get it from JavaScript. And if it is going to be attached to another object, then that particular object's function will give the inherited data to this particular object. So in A, if you see A here, we have simple A, and it will have a prototype, which will be nothing. Which will be simply whatever JavaScript gives, it will have prototype. But in case of B, right? B will in case of B, what it will happen is B corresponds to a prototype, inside which prototype you will find A. Okay, and that will correspond to another prototype, like that. So this is how the structure of this particular things will look like. Are you guys able to make it out how these prototypes are coming inside an object and how it is passed to another object?
सर प्रोटोटाइप के अंदर क्या मतलब स्टोर रहता है जो अलग-अलग वैल्यू रहती है?
See, inside prototype, right, there will be always a constructor function, which is a predefined function to create that particular object. Okay, and then we have some other methods which are going to be consistent across all the prototypes. Has owned property. The has owned property is used to check whether the particular property is present in that object or not, like that. Okay, I'll show you the examples of one or two methods. Okay. Before coming to that, you people understand what prototype is and how it is associated to an object and how it is coming up in the browser.
Not still fully clear. If you can briefly like quickly explain.
Okay, I'll explain that. See, whenever you're creating object in JavaScript, right, in ES5, or not only ES5, anytime, whenever you're creating an object in JavaScript, there is certain extra properties which JavaScript adds to it, and that is called prototype. This you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when you have one particular object and you create another object with respect to the new the previous object, right? The previous object's all data comes into the new object. So we have A here, and using A, we created one more object called B. So what all data A had, A's value, its prototype, everything comes under B. So it's like B is inheriting A.
Right, sir.
So is it clear, guys? Everyone, guys, give me a thumbs up if people are clear till here. Give me a thumbs up or put it in chat, guys.
Yes, sir. Line 3, you said like not 3 or 5. Like A has a prototype, and then it has another prototype. So yeah, if we yes, sir, yeah.
Yeah. See, you have a prototype here. This is related to A.
So this is the prototype object. It is the second prototype you mentioning there. What is the first prototype here?
See,
How does
this is
that
the
two
first.
prototype?
This is the first
Okay.
prototype. Okay. Inside
Okay,
that,
yes.
you have something called as underscore proto. Okay. That is also
Yes.
prototype object. You'll be having, see, inside that you have one more proto. Okay, that will be null. Okay, because this
Right,
is
sir.
the very first prototype, which is assigned, which is directly related to the object, will have one more prototype inside. And that prototype will have a set of values. And for that particular prototype, there is one more prototype object, which should be null.
Right, sir. But the values like this properties are almost the same for both the prototypes, right?
All the prototypes, all the initially given properties are same. To that you can add more data. Like A you have, okay. And now if I want to add more data, I'll do A dot prototype dot, let's say XYZ equal to 200. Okay, and I come here and reload. Is an object. Okay. Wait. I'll tell you why there was an error. I'll tell you. Okay. Till this, you people are clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Anybody have any doubt here? Till now? No, right? Okay. So I'll tell you why there was error and how to resolve it. Okay. So now let's remove this. Okay. And now let's come here. Now we know B is there. Okay. So B is an inherited property. It's an inherited object of A. Okay. So now let's do console dot log of B dot A. Okay. Because B is present inside A. Okay. Now let's see what is the value we are getting here. See, we are getting undefined here. Okay. It's B dot A. So B dot prototype. Okay. And let's see what is in the prototype. See, we have a B here, and inside that we have a prototype object. Inside that prototype object, we have a var. So what I'll do here is I'll do B dot proto dot var. So basically the proto, right, underscore proto, right? So basically the updated version of JavaScript. Initially we should use prototype. Now we are also using underscore prototype. So I'll do dot underscore proto underscore dot val. Okay. So if I do this here and come here, I can achieve the inside value. So you people might see why we are using underscore proto. So basically underscore proto is nothing but it's an object only. Okay, it's an object only. So instead of prototype, direct word prototype, we can also use underscore proto underscore. Okay, so this is a bit of a complicated. It might seem like a complicated topic, but it is not. So always try to draw the diagram in order to understand how that is working. Okay, so first we have an object called B. B will have a prototype. Okay, and this prototype will consist of all the data which has been given to it. Okay, whatever data you are giving to it, it will consist of that data. And that data comes here. So here it is A. Okay, and the respective A, which has been an object itself, will have a prototype. Okay, it will have a prototype. And this prototype in turn is an object. Okay, this prototype is in turn is an object. Okay, so what it will do, it will have a prototype. That object will have a prototype. Okay, and that prototype we can see underscore proto underscore in the browser. Okay, so like this, we will be able to see one another like that. It will be like a nested structure. If we come here, see, we have a value of 10. Then we have a prototype object. Inside the prototype object, you can see there is an underscore proto. Okay, and if I expand it, right, you can again find underscore proto here. If I expand this, that will be null, because we have reached the least node in that particular nested structure, which will be null. Okay, so from this we can conclude the very first object and its respective prototype would be null. Once a new object is created with respect to the previous object, one more prototype is added at the top. So the final value would be null. Don't worry, the final value will be always be null. The final prototype object in the nested structure would be null. Okay. Any doubt in this tree concept, guys?
So please come again.
Okay. See, let's comment this. I'll try and see. We have an object called A here, right? And that too, let's console the A object first, and let's see the output. consoling A here. Let's reload. See, we have consoled A. We have created an object called A with a value of 10. Okay, if I open this, I have a value 10, and there is one more object called prototype assigned to it. And this particular prototype has a list of functions. Okay, as we know that to each object in JavaScript, a respective prototype is attached to it. We know that prototype object of A is also an object. So this particular object will also have a prototype, which you can see here as underscore underscore proto. Okay, and this particular object will have a prototype object, and we know that this is also an object. So this particular object is not attached to the A directly. Okay, so the whatever prototype of this particular object would be a null. This is a statement.
Yes,
Shashia, is
sir.
it clear for you? Guys, everybody are
Yes.
able to follow what a prototype is and how prototype is defined and why the prototype is null in certain position. Guys, give me a thumbs up or put in chat if people have understood this.
सर इंटरव्यू में इतने डिटेल्स का क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं क्या?
Interview में
इंटरव्यू में इतने डिटेल्स क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं क्या?
see, these are tricky questions, and using these right, you can do lot of things. So I have not seen a lot of questions asked in interview in prototypal inheritance. There'll be a general question on it, but it's not detail. But I'm teaching you guys. Is it wrong to teach?
No,
नहीं
sir.
सर इंटरव्यू पर्सपेक्टिव से पूछ रहा था.
Okay. So you people understood, right? What is happening here? Okay.
So what is the use of these all functions?
Yeah, let's come to that. Okay, now let's you can see here something called as hash property. Okay, now what I'll do here is we know A dot see, you have a function called hash property. Okay, and inside A I want to check whether val is present or not. Okay, see, this is an extra function which is given to this particular hash property is the prototype function given to the object. So if I want to check a particular key is present inside that object, I can check like this. If I do the same thing for some other value, see, I'm getting false. If I want to convert this into a string, a.to string, okay, that's an inbuilt what do you say? Yeah, inbuilt function to do that, to convert that object into a string. So this is the converted string. It's an object, it will show like this as a string. Okay, so like this we have certain methods inside it, like we have two locale string. Okay, that will also convert it into a respective string only. The locale basically means to the location where this function is getting called. If it's in India, it is going to be some value. I mean in English like that. So there are a few things. Okay, like that. So this is how you can use it. These functions. Is it clear? The person who asked this out, why we have extra functions here?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So these things, right? This is like for all objects. Every time there is now and then you have to check whether this key is present inside the object or not. Okay. So to make that job easier, right? So they found a few repeatedly used function and they put it inside a prototype and attached it to an object in JavaScript. Okay. That is how these things are. Okay. So let's jump back to our initial one. Where were we? Yeah. I should have started with that example. Sorry for that. Okay. So now let's have a name. Then do this dot age. This is going to be age. Okay. Where I'll add age. Okay. Right after this 23. 4. Okay. Save this. I'll remove this part. And let's do console dot log of user one. Here and let's reload. say we have an object, to this we have this data, and to this we have a concept, a function, a prototype attached to it. Okay, and then we have another prototype inside which we have one more prototype. Okay, and this has one more prototype, and this final prototype would be, it would be a long list. Here the final prototype is null. Okay, so basically here we have an object created by using a new keyword here. Listen function which has been created with a new keyword. So the very first constructor function that you can see, it is taking name and age. As we have the same function. Okay, so it has both the values. I mean, the inputs, the name and age. So that's what we have given it to the constructor, the regular constructor also. Okay, name and age. And after that, we have the regular properties. Okay, now let's jump in and see how we can modulate. Okay, now let's do a dot. Sorry, this is user one. User one dot name, then user one dot age. Okay, so we are separately accessing it, so we are able to access it separately. Okay, now let's add few properties to it. Okay, now let's add few properties to it. Let's give user dot prototype dot phone number, which is going to be, let's say 90. Okay, I'll add this to this, and here I'll print user one, and I'll print here user two. Both the users I'm printing. Okay, we have added this phone number to the respective functions prototype. Okay, respective functions prototype. So that value should appear in both the objects. Both the objects should inherit that value. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have the phone number in this prototype object, and similarly, if we check here, we are able to see the phone number object here also. So basically, what's happening here is when we are giving a value to a prototype of the construct, I mean the initial level function, that value is carried away to the next level also. Whatever object you're going to create from here onwards, it is going to contain this particular value. Is it clear, guys, here?
How we can add dynamically mobile number?
Okay, so for that, you have to pass. Okay, what you're telling is, if for user one I want to give one value, and user two I have to give another value. Right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll come to that. Okay. So this is called inheriting properties. This is called inheriting attributes or properties. So this is clear, right, guys? Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what happens if I'm going to access user dot phone number here? What will be my output?
It should be showing mobile number.
908765432.
Say I'm able to get the value. Even though it was present inside the first prototype object, I'm able to get it here. Okay. If instead of phone number, if I'm going to do ABC, what should I get it here?
Undefined.
Undefined.
Undefined. Right? We got undefined. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
सर अगर
So
user dot prototype dot phone number रखे तो एक और prototype के अंदर जाता है.
if you want to do prototype dot phone number, that will give you the
नहीं सर, वो phone number आपने first prototype में डाले ना, उसको second prototype में डाल सकते हैं वो पूछा था.
Oh, that will need. Yeah. Okay. Okay, remove this and come here and reload. It will not set the phone number because this particular first prototype, right, that will get assigned. That will help to get to do the value. The second prototype is not attached to the initial object itself. The second prototype belongs to this particular prototype object.
समझा.
So this is what for the inheriting of attributes. Okay. Now let's look into inheriting of methods. Okay. So let's consider one more example. Okay, yeah. Before going there, please do this. Rajneesh, you have asked me, right, how to give dynamic valuing, right?
Yes, sir.
That I'll explain. Okay, I'll explain. Okay. And yeah, guys, please implement this prototype examples. Everything's open your browser, look all the examples, how it is coming like that. Rajneesh, this is not a deep copy. You can't say this is a deep copy. Okay. And Nileshwar, sir, in underscore photo is null. So underscore photo can be found at the second level. The very first level's value is what we are trying to access here. Okay. The previous time we got a value that I'll show you how we got the value. Okay. Yeah, guys. Till then, please implement these examples in your respective desktop, laptop, or computers, and let me know if you're people to do it successfully, or you're facing any issue, or still you are not clear on anything. Ask me. Okay, I'll tell you how that goes.
सर अगर फोन नंबर स्ट्रिंग में डालेंगे तो अनडिफाइंड आएगा?
This one. No,
नहीं
this you have. This
नहीं,
you have
उसके
to
आगे
keep.
नंबर
This
डाले
one.
अपन,
हाँ.
इसको अगर string में डाला है अपन ने तो अनडिफाइंड आता है.
No, you are getting the value.
Make undefined.
You check it again. There will be some issue. It's okay. It should work.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Yes, somebody called me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Nileshwar. Yeah.
I put a snippet in chat. It's giving me error.
Okay.
Sir, can you please show the output?
Okay. Yeah. So you have let A is equal to, well, okay. Then what you've done, you have done let B is equal to object dot create of A. Okay. Now we do A dot okay. Dot then you have the phone number here. Then you have B, which will be an empty object inside which you have this, and you have the phone number here. The issue that was you getting was error was you are directly accessing the prototype. You have to use underscore underscore photo underscore underscore. See, whenever the very first prototype, right? If you have an object and inside and that is linked to a prototype object directly, in that case you can't directly go and hit prototype. Okay, to the object, if you're going to touch the object, in that case you have to use underscore underscore prototype, the very first prototype you are going to access it. If you're directly going to access a function, right, there you can hit it directly as prototype or proto. There is, see, the certain location, right, the dot prototype is not available. Okay, and where it is not available in the object, the very first link in the object won't be available. Okay.
जैसे ब्राउजर के लिए डैश डैश फोटो इस्तेमाल करें ना, इसमें तो एडिटर में तो हो जाता है प्रोटोटाइप से.
See, yeah, it would come in, but you can also use underscore underscore proto. You should be able to use it. Underscore underscore proto, not only for browser. If I am able to do it in browser, I should be able to do it in the this also. I mean the code editor also. Okay, guys, have you tried this out? The prototype and the prototypal inheritance.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, is it done? Okay, what is the error? Okay. Prag, in both the cases, you are able to add the value. But in browser, go and see where this phone number is coming. The second one, I think it will be coming directly to it.
Yes, sir.
And the first one will come inside the prototype object.
Yes, sir.
That's the difference. So prototype is an extra attribute which is given to a respective object, which is not related to the initial object created. So you are directly in the second line, you are directly touching the initial object.
Didn't get that, sir.
See, here, right, whenever, no, wait, 1 minute, English, I'll just show an example. So let A is equal to, say, okay, if I do A dot 10 is equal to 20. Okay, and if I print A, see, I have two values here. Okay, and here, if I do A dot proto dot, and I'll do let's say temp 2 equal to 10. Okay, and if I print A here, right? If I go inside, see, here only I will find temp2. I'll not find temp2 here at the top. So when you do directly, right, it directly alters the object. But here it doesn't alters the object. It just adds it as a inherited. I mean, it just adds it to the extra property. So the actual object is not altered. Parag, you were able to
Got it.
understand?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Nilesh, Nilesh, I have told him before.
Yes, sir. I have a question about this. What?
Yes, sir. I mean, good. Ask it.
Yes. Yes, sir. Like when we add to the object itself, directly to the object, we can access it, we can print it. So what's the use of editing to the prototype? How do we use it, and like what's the use case for that?
See, when you don't want to edit the object itself. See, there are certain times when we have to have temporary values assigned to a particular object, but you don't want to alter the structure of the object. See, in business level coding, right? You never should alter the object structure. Once you get it from the backend, you have to use it likewise. Sometimes you have to add certain extra values to it. Okay, so we can't create a new attribute to it. So what we do is we put it in the prototype object and we flush it at the end.
Right, sir.
Six. Okay. So as I said now, Ranjesh, so whenever you are going to directly access the function, not the object, in that case, you have to use prototype, the very first prototype. But if you're going to access the object directly, the first prototype, in that case, you have to use __ photo __.
Sorry, एक बार repeat करो.
Okay. So whenever you are going to access the function, right, the constructor function or normal function, right, that time you have to use prototype. When you're going to access the object created by the function, right, that particular object, you have to use __ photo __.
Uh, yes, sir. I have another question, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like I created this the example you did user1 and user2. Then I directly added to user1 object like by using the __ proto dot address. Then I added another property. But when I see it in the output on the browser, it shows the address shows in both user1 and user2 prototype. So, but I only added it to user1 prototype. So is it like
You're telling user1 dot __ photo __ dot address is equal to, let's say, Winter Street. Okay, this is what you added, right?
yes, sir, yes.
Okay. So I'm adding it to the object one. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Come here and reload. You want to see address here and address also here. So what you're trying to say here is I have only added it to the object one, but why it is getting
Yes, sir.
added to the object? I mean the final value, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is the position where this proto object, right? This proto object basically belongs to I will show you how that's happening. Okay. And see, so this is the very first attachment of the prototype to the initial object. Initial object in the sense it belongs to the function. Okay.
Right, sir.
Okay. Then you add this proto, the second level. Okay. Second level, you add it to, this is where it is getting added first.
Right.
This particular level. And this particular level, if you see here, this is null. So this is null. That means this particular object. This particular object is the object of the prototype object of the function. Okay. And this becomes the prototype object of the function. So that means this particular one becomes the function. So the function gets the value here. So that is why you are able to find it in the other object also.
Right, sir.
Okay, so now you understand why I taught you this this nested structure from how to recap it. The initial level I taught you, right? How to do that. So that is how this you have to apply.
Right, sir.
So the first null refers to the prototypes. You have a function. That function has a prototype. That function, that prototype has a prototype, and that prototype is null. So this is how this goes on. It's kind of bit tedious one, but if you understand the logic, right, you can get it. How that is coming up from one way to another.
Right, sir.
So it is getting attached to the function. That is why, and this function is basically is the function which you are using to create both the objects. Like that. If I try one weird thing here, let's try a weird thing here, and let's see. I've entered here. I just moved the the address to the another step, one step down.
And is this still like shows on both the objects?
Obviously, I'm pushing it deeper inside the object, right? So it is going to reflect all till the all top, right?
Right. Sir.
Yeah. So, Rajesh, I think this will be clear for you, right?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Good. Yeah, guys. So yeah, with this, I'll just move to the another one. That is inheritance of the methods. And after that, we can wind up for ES5. Then we can go for ES6. When I mean this month, then there will be one exam coming up, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll create an application where you can use prototype questions. Okay, let's consider another example. Let's say a counter. Okay, it's an object where we have the value of the counter, the initial value of 0. Okay, then we have one more value, the counter function, counter incrementer. Okay, so basically that is a function which is going to increase. If you give a return value of this well plus 1. Okay. Any doubts here in this object declaration, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Now what I'll do here is I'll come here and do console dot log of counter dot counter incrementer function. If I call this, what will be the output?
1.
Okay. Let's see this one here. Okay. Now if I want to create a new object that is going to be a copy of this particular object. Okay. I want to extend its properties to another object. So instead of new, when you're going from one object to object, in that case, instead of new, we'll be using object.create. So let's have counter 2. Okay. And this is going to be object.create of counter. Okay. Fine. So what basically here happened here was we have done this. Okay. Now what I'll do counter dot counter dot, let's say val is equal to 2. Okay, and I'll do console dot log of counter 2. What will the output for this here, guys?
3.
Again, see whatever we have done here, and think and tell me it is going to be 3.
It will to
What I'm printing here, I'm printing the value or I'm printing the object itself.
Objects.
Object.
Okay, so here what happened, the object we have updated the value to 2. Okay, so similarly what I'll do, I'll call the incrementer function. Okay, and if I save this and come here and reload, see now I got 3. So basically when you are creating an object from another object, it basically inherits all its methods, all its properties as well, and the methods as well. So that is why we are able to call the method.
So your voice is breaking.
Is it breaking for everyone, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I didn't get any notification. Let's see. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear now.
Okay. Cool. So what basically happened was we have an object called counter. Okay. We had an object called counter, and this counter we used to create another object called counter2, and this counter2 actually inherited all the properties of counter. Okay, we didn't assign it, we didn't do equal to, we actually created a new object with copies, I mean which follows this counter object. So this counter object is being inherited by counter2. So not only the value, we are also able to inherit the method of the object. So that is what I wanted to show you guys here.
So we can use new also here now instead of create.
See, new actually always assign, or see like new, right? We mostly combine it with a function or a constructor. Okay, here we are what we are doing here is we are creating an object which is going to inherit another object. Okay, so in terms of objects, right, we use object.create. Both are same, both job is same. You getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So what we have understood here is when we are calling this counter.enact function, right, it is calling this particular function line number 306. Here it refers to value called this.val. So actually the val was 0. 0 was present for what? Counter object. But for counter2, right, counter2, what value you have given? 2. So it is going to consider 2 here. That is why I mean when we are inheriting the properties, this is what it happens. It will take the values of the another object, but utilize the present the base class functions. Okay. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
This
Yes, sir.
Object.create is in ES6, right, sir?
I'm not sure where this is present, but I can give you the correct answer actually. I can check and tell you. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Now let's go for a comprehended example. We'll do a very quick example, okay, and you can implement that. So let's type. I have already have taken up an example in my screen. Okay, I'll just type that. Let's say we have something called a superhero, and we will have the superhero name. Okay, then we will have their real name. Yes, Neil, sure. Okay, then let's have its forward. Okay. And here we will have this superhero name. First one, then we have the start realme, B, realme, and we have the start equal to power. Okay. Any doubts in this function? What a function we have defined?
No, sir.
Now let's come here and let's do let's come here and let's do let's take a Iron Man. Okay. And what is Iron Man's super name? It's Iron Man only. What is his actual name? Anyone?
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
Stark. Its
Or
actual
Robert Downey
name
Jr.
is
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. And this is Tony Stark. Sure. Okay. And what is the superpower?
Iron Man.
His superpower is money, man. There's a lot of money to make technologies. Okay. Fine. Now let's do console.log.
Intelligent, sir.
Is intelligent. let's put the Iron Man suit here. Okay. Suit that we have developed.
Mixture of both.
Yeah. So let's do console.log of Iron Man. Okay. And let's come here and reload. It should be new superhero. Come here and reload. We got the respective value. Okay. Now, if I want to do console.log, if I want to add one more field to it, let's say the last movie that he has worked on. Okay. So what I'll do superhero dot prototype dot last movie. Okay. And what was his last movie?
Endgame.
Endgame. Okay. I've added to this. Okay. If I come here and reload, see here, I can see the last movie is there. If I want to access it directly, let's say dot last movie, I'll be able to get the value. I got the value. Even though it is not present in the initial function, we're able to see it here. Okay. If I'm going to access some other value, let's say the first movie. What will be the output for this?
Undefined.
Undefined.
Be undefined, because we have not defined it yet. Okay. Now, if I want to check if any other if instead of printing the undefined, if you want to check whether first name is present or not, what I'll do dot anyone
As own property.
as on. Property, and what do we check first? It is not present, so this false. Okay, so this is how we can deal with all the values. Okay, so yeah, guys, please implement these two examples, this counter and this thing, in your respective desktop, laptop, or computers, and let me know if you people are able to do it. Right, so that we can.
Has own property function attributes or prototype दोनों check करता है.
Yeah, it will check. See from where you're going to use it, will check it. Okay, and this will check both the values. See the last value, last movie is presented where is in the prototype. I come here and put last movie here. Okay, I come here and reload. Okay, So here we are not able to find it. Okay. Then if I go down one more step down, and if I come here and reload, doesn't have the property. Okay. Let's print the animal here, and let's see at what level it is present. So it is present somewhere here, last one. Okay. So inside this constructor we have, and inside this prototype object, we have this hands-on property value, right? If you're going to use this, I think we'll be able to see the last movie here. Okay. And to do that, we can check dot.
2 times prototype, na sir.
It will be prototype of prototype. It will be actually prototype only, one time only. Prototype dot has own property of last movie, because it is one step down only, right? Now with properties of undefined, even has own property. Why is that? Let's do for 2 times.
सर ऊपर फंक्शन का
Oh,
नाम
okay.
है
Wait. Yeah, somebody is going on this. What's that?
सर यही बोल रहा था ऑब्जेक्ट तो प्रोटोटाइप यूज
That's also a mistake. Okay. So you got it. So we were actually accessing it on the object, right? So that's why you have to use this. Is it Sabir? You ask this question or somebody else?
सर यस clear.
Oh,
Junaid.
it's clear, right? Yeah. Yeah, guys, please implement this. I'll give you 2 minutes, then we'll move to the class. I hope prototype is clear for you guys now. Is it clear, guys?
Yes sir.
Please implement this in your respective desktop, laptop, and computers, and let me know. Nilesh, here I have in ES5 we have these features. In ES6 we have class. Sorry, I might have missed your question. Guys, have you people have done it? Shall we move to the next concept, guys? Anyone wants time, or shall I move?
So wait, sir.
Yes, Prag, you could do that. Existing property in the sense whatever the prototype actually has, right? You can completely destroy the prototype object. You can nuke it. If you want to see here, right? Let's see. So we have Ironman dot proto. Okay. So you can see we can completely nuke it by assigning it to none. Okay. If I go here and put Ironman, right? Just Ironman. Inside this, you won't be having any prototype. You can completely nuke the prototype.
No, like
Is it clear?
can we change the like power or like something else?
Yeah, you can change it. Ironman dot power, you can change it. Say this. Okay, if I come here, so it got changed. You can change it.
Yes, clear. Sir.
Yeah, thanks. So I can also tell about the nuking of the prototypes. You can remove the prototype objects in the from the object directly by nuking it by assigning it to null. Cool, guys. Let's move to the next concept, that is class. So have you guys learned class before anywhere, any place?
हर language.
That language. Okay. So similarly, we have class in JavaScript also, where we use class keyword to define a class, and with respect to that, we will give what do you say, the class name to it. And let's say, let's go with a very basic example where anywhere in the internet you'll find this example called rectangle and square. I mean shapes. Okay. So let's go with a rectangle, a class rectangle, which is going to have a constructor. Constructor is basically a function which is used to initialize the objects which we create for the class. Okay. And this is going to have two values, length and width. Length and width. Okay. And we will be having this dot length is equal to length, and this dot width should be equal to width. Okay. Now let's have this properties that we wanted. Okay. So let's have one more function also. Let's say let's have like get perimeter. Okay, and this is nothing but return to into this dot n plus this dot. So this is how we define a regular. We basically define a class where we have a constructor method to initialize the respective attributes, class attributes, and what are methods where we have inside the class. We can use those attributes to do some processing. So yeah, any doubts here, guys, in terms of class and its class definition?
No, sir.
Okay, cool. So similarly, in this case, we are going to have one more class. Let's say a class called square. Okay, so which is going to extend. I mean, we are going to do the inheritance. Okay, we have something called a square. Square, and here, right, to use inheritance, we use extends. Okay, extends keyword. This extends keyword will come next to the base class. So base class here is rectangle. Okay, so here what we'll do constructor, and this square will have only one length, so we'll do just length. Okay, and here we are going to call the base class constructor so that all the properties get inherited. So for that we use something called a super. Super is a method which is used to invoke the base class constructor, and this constructor we have to pass two values, length and width. And in terms of square, both are same. Be length comma length. Okay, fine. If I come here and I'll create two objects. Let's say let rect obj. Okay, and this is I'm going to do new rect of let's say 3,4, and then I'll create an this object. Let's say square object bj, and that is going to use square, and which will take just one value. Let's give it 2. Okay, so let's console.log of rect object.
So line number 3, 48 per you are writing wrong, length and length.
No, I'm writing it correctly only. Why this is wrong?
You are sending length 2 times. Super.
Yeah. Why we are using super here? Super is here used to call the base class constructor. And what is the base class here? Rectangle.
We have to need to call length and width now.
Yeah. What we are basically sending two values, right?
Yes.
Here we are sending two values. In terms of square, right? The length and width both are same, right?
So we are calling base class, but we do not passing any parameter.
We are passing the parameter. Here we are passing two parameters. No.
Okay,
The base class constructor. Then just still you are confused.
सर वो दो अलग अलग पैरामीटर पास करो नहीं कि पास किसके कंफ्यूजन.
See, I'm passing, dude. In terms of square का मतलब क्या होता है? It has length and width both are same, right?
Yes, sir.
Still, you people are confused what we have done here.
Yes, sir.
But sir, for rectangle, we are passing length and width.
Yes. See, wait, I'll draw and show. You guys still remember this lexical, the lexical unit?
Yes, sir.
Division.
Constant.
Don't forget, man, there are important concepts. See, this is a rectangle, which is going to have length and breadth. Both are different. But in case of square, right, both the length and breadth both are equal. Okay, so we have a constructor for we have a class which is defined for rectangle. Okay, so basically rectangle, you have a constructor which is going to take two values, length and breadth, because these two values are different here. Now we know that square is simple. This is going to have only one value. So what we did, we created a constructor here which will take only one value, length. Okay, but what we have done, we have inheriting the properties and the methods of which class? This class. This is the parent class. So in that case, whenever you're calling the parent inside the parent class constructor inside this, right, we have to pass two values to it. Then only we'll be able to consume all its properties, right? We have something called as get perimeter. So get perimeter, we know if we are going to pass only one value from here, we'll be having only length. This dot width would be undefined. So there will be the final answer of this would be NaN, right? So that is why we are passing two values, because in terms of square, both its length and breadth are equal, width are equal. That's why you're passing length and width. Are people able to get my point here? How we are inheriting the properties and how we are calling the super to go?
So through super function, we are passing two parameter in rect class constructor.
Yeah,
But sir, length और breadth अगर same होगा तो वो भी square हो जाएगा ना?
that is what here we are not writing any other properties inside the square. To get perimeter, right? Get perimeter function is present in the base class. We are going to inherit and use it for the square class. See what I have done here. I have created the object here, the rect dot here. Okay, what I'll do console dot log of rect object dot get perimeter. Okay, so basically this will give me what? 4 plus 3 7 14. It should give me 14. But in terms of square object, what if I want to use the get perimeter? If I call the get perimeter here, what should I should get? I should get
4.
2 2 2 4, not 4 8. It's perimeter, right? Okay, so see, let's see the output here. See, we got 14 here and we got 8 here. So basically, what we are doing here is we are inheriting the base class to the another class. Square is a class which is going to inherit the properties of rectangle. So utilize all the properties of rectangle. We have to call the rectangles constructor. And to call the rectangles constructor, we are going to use a super method. Super method is basically will contain all the parameters which the constructor of rectangles requires. So in case of square, both the length and width are equal. So we are passing length and length. Is it still confused for you guys?
No, sir, it is clear.
Sabir?
Yes, sir, clear.
Nilesh, sir, I'm not able to get your question.
Sir, in this like line 348, we are this super. So basically, we are sending two arguments to the base class, right? Both of them
Yes.
length.
Yes, exactly. Super method is used to call the constructor of the base, the class from which we are inheriting something.
Right, sir.
Nilesh, sir, I'm not able to understand the question. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Why you
Yeah.
creating parent class objects, sir?
I just created the parent class object to show the difference, like the get parameter function, right? It works for parent class and for object for once we have inherited to the square, we can also access the parent class function, which is acting for its own on the square, like that. To show the difference, I've made.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in inheritance,
So
we just create the base classes object. No?
It's not like that. See, inheritance is basically inheriting properties of the parent class. That doesn't mean that you can't create objects of the parent class. You can do anything with the parent class. Only the point here I'm trying to convey here is during inheritance, all the properties of the parent class goes to the child class, and child class can utilize that.
Okay.
Got it right? Yeah, guys. If you is it clear, guys? ES6 classes, how classes are used, how inheritance we are doing here. It's super simple in ES6, but in ES5 it is like it's like a bit of a roller coaster. Any doubts here, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Please implement this in your respective desktop, laptop, and computers, and let me know if you people are able to do it successfully. Or if you're facing any issue, let me know. I'll try to explain back to you guys. Guys, do you have something called as mentor session here, where you talk with your mentors? They will guide you. They track your progress. Something happens like that here.
Yes, sir.
So it happens on how regular basis, daily, or how that happens.
So actually in Atene there are three plans. So the ultimate, those who have ultimate plan, they have mentor, their personal mentor.
Okay.
And if anyone have any doubts, they can ask in the portal, and the mentor will reply.
Okay. Okay.
In monthly we have to ask a minimum 8 to 30 dollars.
8 to 30 dollars. Okay.
Yes.
सर मेरे को अभी भी एक डाउट आ रहा है
हाँ,
मैं
पूछो।
तक क्लियर नहीं
पूछो।
सर ये सर जो स्क्वायर वाला क्लास है ना उसमें आप लेंथ दो बार पास कर रहे हैं ना ऊपर वाले इसमें दो अलग वेरिएबल पास करो ना
नहीं कर सकते ना, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ ना आपको. देखो, square has only length. There's no width is also same for square.
तो सर रेक्टेंगल की भी लेंथ मतलब दो बार लेंथ ब्रेथ पास करना अगर वो दोनों भी सेम हो गए तो फिर वो भी स्क्वायर ही हो जाएगा ना.
Yeah, it could be. See, basically we have defined this class. Whatever case you're telling, that is just one case. One case. Okay. If you want to send two different values here, okay. In that case, let's have one more variable here. Let's say this dot let's have width, which is going to be, let's say, 20. Width is equal to 20. Okay. If I want to pass width here, I can pass. This dot width I can pass. I can do that. But the actual notion of this particular example was square will have same value. Length and width both will be same. If you want, you can pass two different values. There's no problem. Sangeet, is it clear?
हाँ सर एक और एग्जांपल बताओ ना इसके अलावा.
For example, okay.
स्क्वायर और
Let's
रेक्टेंगल
have
को
square, rectangle. I don't. कोई और object है जो it follows the same method. You can have rhombus actually. class. Yes, which extends. Constructor which is going to have length and width. Okay, and can call super. No, rhombus is I think the length and sides all are equal for rhombus,
Yes.
right?
Except
Yes,
for
right?
S.
Yeah. Then we have to use square. So then we'll be passing only length to it, and we can call super with length. So basically, what we have done here is we have extended rhombus from square, and square extends it from the rectangle. Okay, we can also have something called as class trapezium. Okay, trapezium which extends rectangle, because both length and width are different for this. So you can use constructor where you can pass length and width, and inside that you have a super method which will call the constructor of the rectangle, and which will take up both length and width. Okay, that means you can do it. Is it clear, Sabir?
सर कोड ऊपर करिए थोड़ा. I mean sir नीचे. I mean last part.
Okay. So Rajneesh, actually what we are doing here inside the class, right, we have a class method. This method is called to calculate the perimeter of the respective object. Okay, so this is the formula that we use to calculate the perimeter. Okay, that's what we are doing here in class. This particular line. This is a function. This is a function which is going to do that.
So show the output.
This is a
So show the code.
Sir, can you scroll it up?
Is it enough, Pradeep?
Yeah, it's
Sir, before accessing parent element, we have to call super function.
Yes, super function we are calling because to pass the parameters from the child to the parent. Because whenever we are going to inherit the properties from the parent element, right? We have to call the constructor of the parent in order to initialize it, right? So to do that, we are calling the super method. Constructor is the very first function which gets called for a particular object. Whenever the object is created, that particular function is the first function which gets called. So with that calling of the very first function, we also have to inherit the properties of the its parent. So that is done through super.
हाँ सर, क्योंकि मेरे को ऐसा शेप का समझ नहीं आ रहा था, तो मैंने थोड़ा अलग किया समझने के लिए, मतलब पेरेंट में क्लास एट्रीब्यूट किया और चाइल्ड में उसको एक्सेस करने के ना, तो पहले बोला कि पहले सुपर फंक्शन कॉल करो जब भी एक्सेस कर पाओगे।
Okay, okay. Anyhow, you got it right.
यस सर।
Cool, guys. Yeah, that's all for today. There is one more small topic left, which we'll take up tomorrow. Okay. See, inside super, right? Whatever value you're going to pass, you can pass. Like length, you can pass length plus length, anything. Okay. Okay, guys. Cool. Let's go to the MCQs for today. Any doubts for so far, guys, in today's class?
नो सर, ऑल क्लियर।
MCQs.
सर स्क्वायर बार एक बार एक्सप्लेन करो ना।
क्या समझ में नहीं आया आपको? अभी
यस सर।
क्या समझ में नहीं आया?
सर एक मिनट, लास्ट में जो आपने ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया हो ना, हाँ तो सर यहाँ पर मैं जब वैल्यू दे रहा था मेरे को सर आउटपुट में नन आ रहा है, मतलब आउटपुट
कहाँ पे? जब ये अब तुम गेट पैरामीटर कॉल कर रहे हो तब?
यस सर।
ओके, तो स्क्वायर को तुमने एक्सटेंड किया रिएक्ट और के साथ।
यस सर।
Did you pass length in both constructor and super?
यस सर।
Can you copy and paste the code here?
सर जस्ट अ मिनट।
Rajneesh, super is actually, it's not like that. See, super is something which what all values in the class constructor we are passing, you're capturing, right? That values you have to pass it to super. If you're not passing, it will be undefined. Guys, I've created the first MCQ. Please, everybody go and answer. It's for 2 minutes. Samir, after answering the MCQ, right? Tell me, I'll tell you what you.
ओके सर।
Yeah, later I'll do that. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah, Shabir, check the super function of the square. You're only passing one length. The other length is other length you have to pass right. You have to pass length from a length right. Otherwise, the width of the respective rectangle would be undefined. So that's why you're getting an A. Guys, I'm putting the second MCQ. Please go and answer. That is also for 2 minutes. As I'm pasting the third MCQ, please go and answer. That's also for 2 minutes. guys have created the fourth MCQ. Please go and answer. It's also for 2 minutes.
सर अगर कंस्ट्रक्टर कोई क्लास में हो नहीं तो फिर भी रहता है ना वो इंटरनली?
Yeah, yeah. Presently it will get done. That is why if we call super inside the extended class, right? There will be an area. Yeah, guys, that's all for today. Any doubts? Anything that you people have to clear with me or anything, guys?
सर मेरे को था थोड़ा वो जो आपने टेस्ट में दिए ना,
You have doubt in?
जो टेस्ट में दिए ना सर प्रॉब्लम, उसमें मेरे को एक चीज में डाउट था.
Yeah, ask what is the doubt. Yeah, guys, as for others, I have created the accident so people can go and mark that so far. Present today. Hey, Jonathan, ask me what's the doubt.
सर ऐसा कोई फंक्शन है क्या, मतलब जिस पे ऑब्जेक्ट पे क्लिक करो तो उसका क्लास नेम मालूम पड़े?
You can use you want to know the class name.
Yes sir.
Yeah, you can do that. There is no function, but you can do it by accessing the respective HTML element. From there you can get the class.
ठीक है सर. जैसा कोड जैसे टू डू लिस्ट में लिस्ट रहती है ना, तो वो डिलीट बटन दबाने पे मैं जो पूरा एलिमेंट था जिसमें सब स्टोर किया था वो डिलीट कर रहा था, मगर फिर भी वो एरे में जो स्टोर किया था वो एरे में था. तो मैं क्लास में मतलब 1 2 3 4 स्टोर करने वाला था, क्लास नेम से एक्सेस करके एरे में से निकालने का सोच रहा था.
See, actually, there what you have to do is, whenever there is a change in the array list, right, you have to re-render the created elements. So what you guys usually you would have done is, you have created array. From that array, you will be getting the value and creating the list of elements, right? ऐसे ही कर रहे होंगे ना तुम?
सर एक बार रिपीट करना, समझा नहीं.
नहीं, तुम क्या कर रहे होगे, तुम मतलब बेसिकली जब भी टू डू ऐड करते होगे तब तुम उसको एक एरे में वैल्यू एरे में उस टू डू को स्टोर करके लेते हो, करके रखकर रिस्पेक्टिव एचटीएमएल एलिमेंट क्रिएट करके तुम अपेंड कर रहे होगे ना?
यस सर.
हाँ, तो तुम्हें क्या करना होगा कि उस क्लास नेम के जो आईडी आपको दे रहे हैं ना, रिस्पेक्टिव आईडी, ठीक है? तो हर एक आइटम के लिए, मतलब हर एक टू डू के लिए एक आइटम होना चाहिए, एक नंबर होना चाहिए, एक नंबर होना चाहिए जो जिसको तुम आईडी या क्लास में तुम रख सकते हो, ठीक है? रखने के बाद उस पर्टिकुलर एचटीएमएल एलिमेंट को सिलेक्ट करने के लिए तुम्हें सीएसएस का कॉन्सेप्ट यूज करना होगा. गेट एलिमेंट बाय आईडी, गेट एलिमेंट बाय क्लास नेम, ठीक है? तुम्हारे पास आईडी है तो उस आईडी को रख के तुम उस पर्टिकुलर क्लास या आईडी को उठा सकते हो, उस एचटीएमएल को सिलेक्ट कर सकते हो. सिलेक्ट करके उसको तुम्हें रिमूव करना है. तो रिमूव कैसे कर सकते हो? तुम इनर एचटीएमएल को तुम नल कर सकते हो, या फिर उस पर्टिकुलर एचटीएमएल को तुम मतलब उसका स्टाइल प्रॉपर्टीज में जाकर विजिबिलिटी नन दे सकते हो, या फिर उसका डिस्प्ले नन दे सकते हो. समझ रहे हो ना? ऐसे कर सकते हो रिमूव करने के बाद.
ट्राई करूंगा सर एक बार।
हाँ हाँ श्योर।
सर देखोगे कैसा बनाया था?
हाँ दिखा।
ये देखो सर, और इधर ये तो आसान था एकदम। 2 वाला हट गया, और जो 3 था वो ऑटोमेटिकली 2 बन गया।
ओके
इसको भी कर। अब सर अगर एलिमेंट ऐड करता हूँ ना, जो बताता हूँ आपको मैं, पाइथन ऐड किया सर। अभी ये डिलीट दबाऊंगा तो ये मतलब मैं एरे में से एक एक एलिमेंट प्रिंट कर रहा हूँ, और ये
ओके।
डिलीट दबाऊंगा ना तो ये यहाँ से डिलीट हो जाएगा, मगर एरे में से डिलीट नहीं होता है।
हाँ तुम्हें उसका लॉजिक लिखना होगा यहाँ से, जब तुम डिलीट कर रहे हो ना तो उसका आईडी निकालना होगा तुम्हें।
हाँ सर,
मतलब
वही
इसका जो आईडी
पूछ
वैल्यू
रहा
है
हूँ।
ना 3 है ना,
हम्म,
3 जो आईडी वैल्यू है उस आईडी वैल्यू को रखिए, उस इंडेक्स पे उस एरे को एरे से मेरा वैल्यू हटाना होगा।
वही करेक्ट करूंगा मैं। ये डिलीट किया, और अगर कोई आइटम ऐड करूंगा ना,
पाइथन भी आ जाता है साथ में।
हाँ सर आ देता हूँ।
दैट्स व्हाट, तुमने एरे को क्लियर नहीं किया, यू हैव टू क्लियर द एरे आल्सो। तुम्हें बेसिकली उस
हाँ
आईडी के हिसाब से उस इंडेक्स पे जाना होगा, उस इंडेक्स को मैप करना होगा। इधर सी उसका अगर आईडी 3 है तो इंडेक्स इंडेक्स उसका 2 हो सकता है,
हम्म।
तो उस इंडेक्स में के डेटा उसको तुम्हें हटाना होगा।
तो सर अगर ये डिलीट पे क्लिक करता हूँ तो गेट एलिमेंट बाय आईडी करना पड़ेगा, समझा?
तुम जब इस डिलीट पे क्लिक करते हो ना, तो जस्ट डिलीट पे क्लिक कर रहे हो, उस रिस्पेक्टिव आईडी को तुम्हें निकालना होगा, उस इवेंट बेसिस में निकालना होगा। जो हमने ऐड इवेंट जैसे लगाया है ना, उसमें जो
हम्म,
वैल्यू आता है, उसमें उसमें जो कॉलबैक पे जो वैल्यू आता है उसमें तुम्हें इस आईडी को भेजना होगा उस कॉलबैक पे, ताकि ये आईडी को तुम उस एरे से हटा सकते हो।
करूंगा सर इम्प्लीमेंट, फुल फ्लैज बना देंगे।
बनाओ, बनाने के बाद गिटहब रेपो पे डालो, उस प्रोजेक्ट को अपने रेज्यूमे में ऐड कर लो।
हाँ सर, एक तो मतलब मैं यूट्यूब से देखकर बहुत पहले लोकल स्टोरेज, टू डू यूजिंग लोकल स्टोरेज बना के रखा हूँ।
अच्छा अच्छा ओके। तो कुछ और
दूसरी
सीखेंगे हम लोग, मे बी इन 2 सेशंस वी विल लर्न लोकल स्टोरेज।
इसमें से रिफ्रेश डालो तो पूरा हट जाता है, उसमें रहता है। ओके सर, थैंक यू।
Okay, thanks guys. We did on the projects for me today. Let's catch up tomorrow, guys. Good night. Bye.